Thanks for your company tonight. Here we call it, of course, a good night from NBS Live at 9. Look, I don't want to say much because this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Simon Kagwanjala is already on standby to give us the hottest show for the year thus far. I hope he has his fire extinguisher close to him. Simon, over to you. Take it away.
Well, what more do you need? Everything that our viewers have asked, we have provided. Tonight promises to be a highly charged show, and a very good evening to all our viewers out there. Another moment where politics is taking center stage in the conversation of the country. Let's start it with a trigger.
NBS Frontline. It started with jubilation, merrymaking, and chanting of the party slogans.
One people, one Uganda.
It seems to be ending in internal bickering.
I cannot wait for this to happen to me. That one day I wake up and my leaders are within RM.
When I left the bank, I was being paid $20,000 per month in 2001. When Ssemujju left journalism, I was being paid how much per month?
Grave allegations.
There was this crisis, a crisis in which Amuriat eventually emerged as a candidate, discussed in the public as dirty money. That's where it cropped up.
It was brought by the Secretary General, the Honorable Nandala Mafabi. The party president was one of the recipients.
You know, I became aware of it, discussed it with our close leaders. They were not even happy that I was discussing it.
This double standard should not be accepted, and we shall not agree to people who talk with their tongues folded.
The purchases of brand new vehicles from Kupa Motors at Nakawa and sudden construction by the recipients that coincided with the arrival of the money suggest it was in billions.
The Treasury does not know where the money came from. They don't know how it was used.
Anger.
I have, of course, the record of the Lord Mayor is very clear. You know, he's been hopping from organization to organization, and this is being done for political expedience. He thought he would be a mercenary in the FDC, but we do not have room for any mercenary here. We don't.
And a public meltdown rarely seen on Uganda's political scene.
Why didn't either bring the 200 million in FDC or return it to the consolidated fund?
They are now robbing us in broad daylight.
What was first rumored in secret has been broadcast live in full color on national media. The Blue Party is in crisis. A party revered as the bulwark of Uganda's opposition for the last 22 years is crumbling before our very eyes. With the opposition losing the formidable lions whose roar once made the ruling government tremble, has the political gravedigger come for the FDC? Will the Blue Party's final resting place be marked in yellow colors?
Engineer Patrick Amriat told us in one of the recent National Executive Committee meetings that we are headed for a split.
That escalation is likely to continue if leaders don't step back, take a breath, and reconsider what all this means.
This is The Frontline. Frontline.
Welcome, it's The Frontline. My name is Simon Kagwanjala, and well, it's no longer at ease. Nor can we say it's still one Uganda, one people. It's a divided blue camp. A battle pitting two camps, one from Najjanankumbi Another from Katonga. What is at stake? Money. Money that is being described as dirty money that was allegedly picked from State House at the height of the 2021 elections. Second, the shady elections. Well, the Ssemujju camp alleges that Nandala and group are plotting a sinister attempt to sell the FDC to the National Resistance Movement. In the same fashion, Mao, as they claim, took DP to State House. A lot of questions. What is at stake? What does the future hold for the once formidable front, the Forum for Democratic Change? Well, tonight I'm joined by the key protagonists in this battle, and it is Honorable Ssemujju Nganda. A very good evening and nice to have you with us.
Yes, Njara, thank you, and good evening to viewers.
On my extreme is Honorable Nandala Mafabi, the Secretary General of the Forum for Democratic Change. Good to have you.
Thank you.
A very good evening.
Good evening to viewers.
You look combative tonight.
No. And by the way, of course, I'm a farmer. I'm a chairman of Just Cooperative Union. I grow coffee. Maybe the coffee is the one making me look.
You're charged with the coffee. Okay. Our frontliner, Ofono Opondo, joins us as well tonight. I missed you last week. I hope you're well.
I'm well. I've been in Mulanda for a long time. Actually, I've missed the show for about 3 consecutive Thursdays. But I'm back and glad to join my colleagues, Nathan, my sister-in-law here, and my young brother, Ibra, the one who's kicking a stone.
Perhaps before I actually move away from you, there's something rather concerning where I need your take. As we speak, there is a stalemate between government and the National Association of Broadcasters in the wake of a memo from the president directing that all government expenditure on advertising goes strictly to UBC and the Vision Group.
No.
Now be saying we are giving you a total blackout.
No, thank you.
That's how can you give a blackout when you have a government spokesperson here?
No, that's
start by chasing Ofano.
The directive of the president is about a month or two back, but the coaching of the word is the government adverts should go through UBC, because over a long period of time, government has found it unable to directly fund UBC as a broadcaster, as a public broadcaster, as ought to be. And in the wisdom of the president and those of us who manage public relations for government, we thought funding through UBC and through the new vision would ameliorate the situation. Now it is now up to us and UBC to find out what this through. Can't UBC, for example, this is what we are exploring, sign contracts with other private media organizations, like you would have a consultancy firm, a media placement, and they do so. So there's discussion going on with us in the government and NAB, although I think their press statement of yesterday was Russia.
Yeah, but look at the back and forth negotiations.
That's okay.
First with Barrio Munsi.
Barrio Munsi is our team leader in the communication sector, and so there's consultations going on. Once we reach a convergence with the NAB and the other sector players, we shall go to the Prime Minister. In fact, we have been given 1 week. Next week, we should be going to the Prime Minister with different scenarios. And once we do so, without varying the intent of the directive of the president, the Prime Minister may wish to take the rest of us with her. We explain to the president what we think the truth should be like. And then hopefully the president will give a go-ahead. Once that is done, we want to believe the brouhaha will be sorted out. But obviously, we cannot, as a government, do it by ourselves without involving the private sector. In any case, if that ban was there, Why am I here?
Yeah, but everything was compounded by a letter from the PSST to all accounting officers directing that whoever contravenes this will be punished, will be reprimanded.
The Secretary of the Treasury might have understood it in his way. Now we are going to bring him back on board and say, look, this letter is saying through. What does through mean? And we shall build those scenarios. Once we're able to convince the Right Honorable Prime Minister, we want to believe she will convince also the government machinery, including the president.
For now, how are you going to contend with the blackout? Because it's already started.
No, even that blackout, I don't think it's taking hold, because as you can see, you are hosting me. You would have said, your man, tonight you're not here. Yesterday we had a press conference by the Minister of Information at the Media Center. You did a wonderful job, you covered. I'm sure tomorrow we shall look at even your own news today. I don't think you have given the government of Uganda a blackout, a total blackout. But we're engaging. I can tell you, today, Mr. Karisa, who's the chairperson, the president of NAB, spoke to me for a long time on phone. He also spoke to the Minister of Information. And we are going to continue that discussion.
Well, Honorable Winnie Kiza, I'm glad you're joining us tonight. And maybe we'll start with this because it affects my bread.
Well, I would like to say good evening, viewers. It's been a while, and I'm sorry I've been away from you. I was missing you, you must know that, but I'm glad that I'm back. My sympathies to the Catholic community over the loss of
Archbishop Bachenga.
The Archbishop Bachenga.
Sad.
It is so sad. May his soul rest in peace. I think of late, government has been doing so many mistakes. So many mistakes after liberalizing the economy, and then you go back and begin patching it. Yes, they have authorized so many media houses to operate. After authorizing many media houses to operate, in a way, they want again to tell them go back and sleep, because we know that it's government that has the greatest amount of money that can enable business persons to keep in business and operate. So when government comes out with a kind of a tall order that all business advertising should be through UBC and the New Vision or the Vision Group, it is telling other media houses, please relax and just close. It is the same thing that the government of Uganda has given to the contractors. They have said many of the constructions in the government departments and agencies should be done by the army. Actually, you shouldn't even forget that they are turning UPDF into another higher machinery of private security. So before you know it, they will be telling Ugandans that anybody wanting to have private security should only go through the UPDF private security company. So I think government of Uganda needs to realign its policies and see whether they rushed into privatization so that they bring back everything to government, or they just let the economy run as it is, because we have said this is a private-led economy. Government should not interfere into where people want to advertise and where people want to take their businesses.
Honorable Nandala Mafabi, you run a media house. How hurting is this decision by government to target UBC and Vision Group alone in advertising expenditure?
One, I think what Honorable Winnie said, the biggest person who has money is government. Of course, it has a lot of money which it has to expend on goods, on public goods and services. Now, UBC and New Vision, through their government entities, but the reason why other media houses were created was for purposes of competition and service delivery. And the moment you try to bring back a monopoly laws or actions, then you are going to create inefficiency, you are going to create corruption, you are going to create mismanagement. I think it's important that the government reconsiders this. One, if media houses closes, many people are going to lose jobs. And if people lose jobs, again, you're creating unemployment. Government does not provide employment direct in public service. It provides when it gives goods and services. It gives, like if you give money to a contractor, he will employ people, but the money came from government to build a road, to build a water dam, whatever the case. So for purpose of creating employment, it's not directed that public service operators are the only one which give you government jobs. But when the government invests in the private sector, it creates jobs. So I think it's important that the government reconsider this. And these are like antitrust laws, these are anti-competitive laws. You're bringing anti-competitive, antitrust. These are very dangerous for a state like this one. We have left that part, we have liberalized the sector. Leave the sector, move on. Unless you must explain why New Vision and UBC cannot compete, then you equip it to compete. I think you are a journalist, you must be able to help your government.
Well, thank you very much. Honorable Ssemujju, as a journalist yourself, come politician, how much sense do you make out of the argument that it was time to revamp, to revitalize the state media houses? So that's why this directive came up.
I think the mistake with this directive, first of all, if you want to give UBC and New Vision business, the decision should have been either in terms of a percentage, that all government adverts, because you also run media platforms, 30% of our adverts will go towards government media platform. And then, because New Vision is not an advertising agency, neither is UBC. And if you read the various laws that Parliament has made, in many of them, you will find a requirement to advertise either in a media of wide saturation, or to advertise these days we even added the social media. But this thing is not new. There was a time, I think, I'm not sure that was when Kabushenga was at Media Center, that they had wanted all the government adverts to go through Media Center. The idea at that time was to patronize adverts. You remember at the beginning of Monitor 1994, because of independent journalism, no government agency was allowed to advertise with Monitor as a way of punishing Monitor. Of course, later on that ban was lifted. I think the adverts should target media houses, because every advert has its own audience. If I am going to advertise to school children, there in town must be a radio station that plays music for children. When I was at university, we were listening to music more than news and anything else. So there are considerations when you are advertising. But the trouble of having an aged leader, when he's briefed by one group like Ofono, then that night it is Ofono's group. And that's why they are now trying to go back. Because, I mean, how can government work like that? That a directive comes, and then you go back to the one who originated it. This should have been an advice from the communication sector of government. But now you are there, you can't implement it, you are going back to say, sir, what you said cannot work. And that's how we work as a government.
Honorable Ssemujju, I have just explained, and I'm sure this media house today has run a government advert. So yes, the directive came, and there is no time when we cannot go back to consult the originator of a directive. Even when you pass laws in Parliament, you pass law today, tomorrow somebody comes up seeking an amendment.
We thought it took effect immediately.
I am telling you, please go and look at, ask your advertising department today, tomorrow morning, if they don't have. So yes, the directive is there, and saying through. So there's really a contention among those of us who are supposed to implement. And we are saying no. Through could mean many things. To some of us could mean that UBC, and UBC can actually float an advertising agency. There's no harm in doing that. The most important point I'm saying is consultations are going on, and we are in touch with the private sector players.
Well, let's get to the gist of tonight's show. The crisis in FDC Honorable Ssemujju, you've come out with very stinging allegations claiming that there is an attempt by Nandala and group to carry FDC to Museveni. Could you substantiate this allegation?
Let me start with the events today at the FDC. Journalists have been beaten, and my sympathy to them as a journalist, but also as a leader. Why were they beaten? Nandala Mafabi of Budadiri and Engineer Patrick Amuriat gave an order that the FDC chairman must not address a press conference at the FDC headquarters.
Are you sure about this?
I am very sure. Amuriat the other day was blaming me for holding a meeting at Zambia. The party chairman alone goes to the party headquarters. His car was parked outside. I've been watching news the whole day.
We actually have the footage, and
yes,
it will be running in the background.
And when he entered through a small door, he was bundled into a vehicle, Amuriati's vehicle, and that's where they have kept him. He had to climb the fence and then scale down this evening, being rescued because he had been held hostage. For me, those events, because the headquarters now and on Nandala's directive is being guarded by Kanyama. We went for a meeting of National Executive Committee on the 16th June, and I raised this formally with Amuriat. For the first time, I have served FDC as a leader for the last 8 years. We have never had Kanyama holding a meeting under the guard of Kanyama. And he said there were people who wanted to come here and demand party cards. And I am going to not tolerate this. So the party, they are Kanyama. And this time they brought a group from Kawempe, the one that has beaten journalists. Very sad, the saddest moment of the FDC. These guys were on drugs a whole day. And after the havoc that they have wreaked, in the evening they were paying them 30,000. Then they left.
Who was paying?
Nandala is the one who is paying there. He's the paymaster. So this is what is taking place at the FDC. Even to access it these days on directives of Nandala, the party headquarters full time is closed. They first look at your face, so for you can enter. So this has been a build-up. By the time we went for the meeting in Zambia, all these things had happened. Now the National Executive Committee cannot see it. The issue of the money that came from Museveni, I am not the first person to raise this. As I speak to you now, there has been an investigation in the FDC which Nandala and Amuriat have compromised. They are the ones who appointed the investigators. Nandala appointed the secretary. Even the lawyer they put to that committee has not been allowed to look at the minutes. Nandala wrote the report. What has transpired now, they can't allow even the National Council. I don't know whether in that atmosphere you can go to Najanankumbi and have a meeting. So the money that came in during election is a matter that has been discussed in the party, in meetings.
Before you delve into the money,
yes,
I think today's events would warrant a response from Honorable Nandala. Honorable, does the buck stop with you on the violence that happened at the party headquarters today? Did you ever seek to block the party chairman from addressing the media?
One, I also want to first apologize for what happened in Najanankumbi. For the journalists who have been hurt, my apologies. And it's unfortunate I wasn't there. And according to my brother Ssemujju, looks he was there, he knows all the facts very well, but I wasn't there. But I want to state that one, when the chairman, which I've now got, which we're going to do an investigation, that the chairman came wanting to address a press conference. He came with his people, and I think this was just, according to what I'm hearing, a planned activity to come and put FDC leadership there in bad light. We always have a press conferences on Monday, and it should be organized by the secretary, our spokesperson. Now, if the spokesperson
who
is him? Who was so who was supposed to organize? Does the chairman organize press conferences? Unless Ssemujju is saying he had told the chairman to become a spokesperson, that he has decided to do an address on a Thursday. I think this is where we go wrong. People wanting to assume they are clean, yet they are not. And today, I want the public to really listen to us. You will judge who is right and who is wrong. I want to state, I have not organized anybody to beat anybody in Najanakumi. Now, the gate, which is saying is closed. You see, a gate is a gate. If you have come with a car, they will open for you. If you have come on foot, you will pass through a gate.
I want to show you the footage. Oh, you don't know what transpired. You're sure you don't know what transpired at the party headquarters?
No, eventually, you see what happened? Let me tell you today, I've been, Institute of Certified Public Accountants. I've been more involved in that. Now, when you're telling me what happened, I wasn't in Niger to see, but I've seen that footage where the chairman was climbing. Now, he said the chairman was locked in the car. They were Kanyamas. How would he leave Kanyamas if those were not his people? Because the Kanyamas would have held him. This is just a decoy. These are the same people. You see, that's the FDC. How did they push him the other side? How did they push him out if they are not his people?
Do you want to suggest that the chairman also wanted to get coverage for his drama?
Of course, that's the drama. You see, you are saying you have been arrested. You are in a car. You're a prisoner. So how did you escape from your captives?
But Simon, you see, that's where
you journalists
go wrong.
I think we need...
Okay, the chairman wanted drama. Is it the chairman who beat the journalist?
Is it possible to allow me speak?
Yes, is it the chairman who beat the journalists?
Allow me speak. I think we should be having respect for each other. So if a man runs from the captives, why wouldn't they follow him? So how he comes, he jumps, he goes, even he gets a pickup, he drives, he said he had left his car. Where was the car? So this
was stage-managed drama?
You can see for yourself.
And who beat the journalists then?
No, that's why I've said I've apologized. That's why I'm saying there's an investigation. But I'm saying the chairman came with these people. Are you getting me? And you see, that's why again we're saying, why a press? First of all, there was a press conference we organized in Najanakumbi yesterday in response to what had happened on Sunday. At the same time, Katonga organized a press conference where everybody again was. Why, if chairman wanted to address a press conference, he had an opportunity to address it at party headquarters. But of course he was in Katonga. If he was in Katonga, why didn't he address it also in where? In Katonga.
Okay.
This double standard.
Is it in the chairman's right to address a news conference at the party headquarters as and when he wishes?
When it's organized by the the party spokesperson, or on a matter which is urgent in nature.
It was.
Which one?
I mean, he wanted to speak out on the crisis at hand.
No, the crisis has been spoken about. Yes. And that's why when you asked us what is happening, the crisis has been spoken about. And that's what we're going to explain. Maybe if you want, I can go in it.
No. What I want to capture for the record, the chairman just wanted to play drama for the cameras.
Today is Thursday. Why didn't he come on Monday?
Okay. Let's get into the question of money.
Let's first finish this. The chairman of the party drives at the party headquarters. He is not allowed to drive in. And the whole day the headquarters is closed.
Because he wasn't expected.
But he has an office there. No moving in, no moving out. And I have it on record. You see, Nandala can attempt to be intelligent. He called,
not aware,
because you can see, this is how this thing started. And that's why I don't want to be jumping from one thing to another. Nandala calls the staff there, don't allow Bilgo to address a press conference. Amriat calls, don't allow to address a press conference. Later on, Amriat says, okay, if they are going to address a press conference, I must come. That's why we are seeing two chairs. And I think along the way, these days Amriat works more on instructions of Nandala. He said, Bilgo, you will not address it. So why didn't they allow him to drive in?
Were you aware of this press conference?
I did.
And in your capacity as official spokesperson of the party, why were you absent?
Every FDC officer can address a press conference, whether they are youth league. In this particular case, we have a national council coming up next week. It is being organized by the chairman. Assuming he wanted to brief the party and the country about the national council on 28th July. You call me if you want my assistance, but I'm not a staff that I must be the one organizing a press conference. That's why I didn't organize theirs. So really, today, the events at Najana Nkumbi further reveals who Nandala and Amuriat are.
Who is Nandala to FDC?
You can ask him. Extremely encouraged that you can't even allow a party chairman to enter party headquarters.
No, but he says he wasn't present. He only got a brief later in the day.
On the journalist being beaten, he has said, very sorry, we are going to investigate. On the party chairman scaling down a fence, he was stage managing drama. Same explanation of NRM, blaming victims.
Let's talk about the money that is causing all the trouble at Najana Nkumbi. For the past 4 months, ever since Besigye laid everything bare before council, the matter has been brewing within the party ranks. Why is it exploding now?
You see, the money came into the FDC in the 2020 general elections. The FDC leaders and senior leaders, including Dr. Besigye, in the interest of not soiling the party, attempted to have this matter resolved internally. Until, and I don't want to go through all the history, until there was a meeting at Mr. Ambassador Waswabirigwa's Busabara Beach. At that meeting, Nandala Mafabi rolled his sleeves to begin boxing Dr. Besigye. That's how he stopped there. Besigye was generous. He didn't want to go through that. You know, Nandala likes fighting. Fighting is one way he supplements his other human flaws. The other day we were in the National Executive Committee, a working committee, and he was fighting Ingrid Turinawe. He likes fighting. At this age, you should not be fighting. Then he was rolling his sleeves, wanting to beat Besigye. Besigye gave up on the issue of the money. What prompted Besigye to speak about this money is a smear campaign by Nandala in another area where he excels. They have been going around saying Besigye doesn't like me, Besigye doesn't like us because of this tribe, Besigye this, Besigye this. Besigye did not campaign for Amuriat. Yet I can tell you for sure, I sat in a meeting at Besigye's place with Nandala, with Amuriat, with Ekanya, with Wafula, with Birigwa, with Sebugwao. And Besigye said, I am not going to participate in these campaigns. He actually said, I'm going to construct a shed there. You guys can go for your campaigns. You return and find me here reading books. Now, in all the meetings, it is Besigye. Besigye. That's why Besigye had to come out and say, guys,
Seriously.
The reason I did not go to campaign was because Nandala disbanded the campaign bureau and then chose to run it at his residence in Chambogo. But also there was this issue of unexplained money that came into the FDC.
Perhaps as you continue, I just need to tell our viewers out there who've been on Twitter and Facebook that you can download your Afro mobile app and watch us from there. Just scan the QR code on the screen now so that you are able to be part of the discussion as we talk about the raging FDC crisis. Yes, you may continue.
So by Besigye coming out, the other FDC leaders didn't want this matter to play in the public. That's how they went to stop. Nandala was grabbing a microphone to explain himself. And I think people restrained him, included the Odo Taiwa, former MP of Bushenyi Municipality. He said, can we put it together an elders committee? We'll go in 2 meetings, including meeting of National Executive Committee, and Amuriat said there are no more elders in FDC. The few ones who are there have taken sides. We insisted because Amuriat had said, if we continue with the election, which is another subject that has caused us all these problems, because Nandala and Amuriat are organizing semblance of an election. And I said that in Zambia, even if you want to cheat elections, just learn from Museveni. Museveni will register voters,
He will display voters register, he will issue cards, and then he will proceed to cheat. But these ones want to cheat before the exercise. Nandala on 6 June, he wrote a letter instructing people to go ahead with the elections, and he said the register, we shall send you a computer, we shall send you books, and you will generate a register as the exercise is going on, the register that the Electoral Commission will use to organize the elections.
Can I request that we hold the matter of the elections and first look at the money? Honorable Nandala, you're being accused of having picked money in huge sums from Bank of Uganda on a given date, took part of it to Besige's residence, and that kick-started the storm that we are seeing now. How much did you pick in the first place?
Oh, first of all, thank you so much. First, to begin with, I want to tell the public that the Secretary General has the following roles. It is under Article 28(4), and I can really go to B. 1 is the Principal Executive and Accounting Office of the party. 2, the head of the Secretariat. C, Secretary to the Delegates Conference. Now, if you're going to have a national council and you're going to discuss, you need to discuss it with your secretary. And the secretary is the Secretary what? General. So to show you that I think people are reading things upside down is where I want to correct that. If Honorable Ambassador Birego wanted to deal with the issue of National Council, I would have been the person to be invited to handle how far we prepared, how are we going to do the exercise. It is me with the Secretariat. Now, if you are coming alone and you're saying you are going to address people, you have already put a notice in the paper inviting people that are going to come. What will be now preparation is to invite. Because this is not a place where you're going to come and say, we are going to tell the public how far prepared. You know, you're members of National Council. I wanted to make that first clear. 2, Ssemujju said Nandala wants to pretend to be intelligent. Yes, I am. If you are questioning, I'm very intelligent, by the way. But to even say I rolled my sleeves, I want somebody here to say, which day has he ever seen me with a long-sleeved shirt? I want somebody to mention it, unless I followed the court. But my shirt is always a short-sleeved shirt. And that's why I want to tell you that the people like Ssemujju are just habitual liars, because I don't have a long-sleeved shirt. You are talking of...
Okay. Was there a charged council meeting
I'm
that
coming.
ended prematurely?
No, I'm not. That's why I think the meeting of Busabala, which they're talking about, that I folded. No. And I want to tell you that day when we had the last meeting, I never knew that the following day Dr. Besige was going to launch PFT, which I wasn't aware. And that's the day he said, no, I'm not coming, I'm going to away. The following day I had him launching the what? PFT. Now, to say that there was a smear campaign, I have been to Dr. Besige many times. And I think one time I was being mistaken that I might be the heir to Dr. Besige, maybe in campaigns. I have been in those meetings, and I can state this if you want to say, remember. In the meeting when Dr. Besige said he was not going to stand, Ssemujju got up and said, if doctor doesn't stand, I will not support anybody unless he applies to me. Ingrid said, I can only support what?
Ingrid was not in that meeting.
Please, let me...
Me and Ekanya are the only people in that meeting.
I am now, you see the problem, where if you are not a good listener, then that's a problem. I'm explaining.
That doesn't give you room to lie.
No, I'm saying that meeting, I am honest. There are many people in that meeting when Dr.
Ingrid was not there.
I want to state this, that you got up and said, I cannot support anybody apart from Dr. Besige. Any other person who wants
Was Ingrid in the meeting?
No. Ingrid said, I can only support you. Dr.
She was not in that meeting.
There were many people. You see now he's mentioning 4 people. I'm telling you that meeting had many people invited. There were people who had been invited. I'm sure there are many, like Omera was there, of Soroti, there were many people. And I can tell you, if the good thing, Kagwanja, you are a journalist, I'm sure those who are listening who will agree with me. They might send you a message of that because those meetings were not recording. That one is done. So that one was agreed. Now, when you doctor said he doesn't want to come and money, for me, I want to state this. I have been in this struggle from 2000, by the way, from reform agenda, 2006 when I was the Deputy Treasurer General, 2011 I was the Deputy Treasurer General, 2016 I was the Secretary General.
Honorable, what remains unanswered before you even take us all the way?
No, I want to explain about it. Yeah.
Did you pick anything?
Nothing. That's why I'm coming. I want to explain. I have not. And you see, that's why there has been a national, and I said it was a charge where in the National Council. In the National Council, when Doctor raised it, I got up to explain myself. Are you getting me? That's when the people said, no, because for me, I was why I'm saying, giving you that memorial. I have been a Deputy Treasurer General. I know everything about, not everything, but I know much about the financing in that party. So if you want to talk about accountability of money, I want to say here that doctor should come here and declare all the sources of money. Because I've been there from 2000. Are you getting me? There's no day I've missed.
How did you procure the 4
I'm coming now. So when you come up and say that in 2021, we got money and that's the reason we disbanded the campaign bureau, I want to tell the public, I was given a budget prepared by Bakandonda of 130 billion to finance a campaign. I don't have even a single shilling. I've told you I'm accounting office. I said, where do we get the money? I am looking for money to nominate, because to nominate members of parliament, I must pay 3 million shillings. To pay local currency, I need about 200 million something. So I said, how do you bring me a budget of 130 billion? And with only operational costs for the secretariat, 6 billion, when I have no shilling, no shilling. I went, doctor took to him a budget that he told me bring the budget. I've given him a budget. Up now, I've never got a response. So now, we have been funding elections. Now, because in 2021, the interest was that they should not float a candidate as FDC. That's why you had doctor saying, this one I could not follow because I came at the last minute. On 18th of December 2019, when we were celebrating 15 years, we were in Nambole. I think that's the date. Doctor invited me, Amriat, Birigwa, and Wekitiwa Sebugwao to go, and that we should have a meeting the following day to discuss with NUP at Sebugwao's home. I said, why? I said, no, I will not come. That's when doctor said, we part here
but
today.
But NUP had not been formed.
No, it was a pressure group. Of course, that's a
people power.
People power. We said, no, and this is where we part. So for me, when the Ambria said, when the doctor said, the Ambria said, I will come. I said, I will come. Anyway, unfortunately, I never went to that meeting. You don't want people to be sincere from day one. And that's when I told Ambria, when these things were coming out, I said, these people had already perceived attitude not to support any candidate.
Honorable, the answer I'm not getting from you.
I have said I have not. And that's why we have said, now let me come on that one. Because I raised that issue, that's when the Elders Committee is formed. He says, I formed the Elders Committee. I had no mandate.
No, I didn't. I said you provided a secretary. Amri had appointed it.
Which secretary? I never. And you see, that's why people are going wrong. The issue to be said, the elders was two things, the two principles. Okay, the two people in the work, Dr. Biesige and Nandala. And when they took that...
That's also not true.
No, it was basically that. That's why we went. That's why you're not invited. That's why we said, do you agree with this elder? I agreed. They took them to doctor, he agreed. How do you tell me that I appointed the secretary? I want to state before the living God, I have never appointed the secretary. If I was going to appoint the secretary, I would have appointed...
Let's get back to the issue
of
money.
No, let me come. You can...
Why does the issue of the source of the money remain contentious?
No, I'm coming.
Even to the leadership, even to the Deputy Treasurer General, Honorable Mwijuche.
No, I'm coming. That's why I'm trying to tell you that. You see, when they formed that, and that's where they say that, go and form that committee was formed. We went there, all of us were invited. We went and took our positions. We're waiting for the report. But I want to tell the public here, I have never got money from State House. That's why I've asked everybody, you bring evidence that I got money from what? State House. You can't, you see these people, when they want to destroy somebody, they say, you got money from what? State House. I want to make the following clear, that I am a Secretary General. If I was, if under the law, again under Article 13 of our Constitution, which is on page 12 of 13. No, let me just,
if you could just give me a minute, because I don't want us to move away from the question that is really under contention.
Yeah, I have not.
Honorable Nandala.
Oh, now you come to the case.
What comes into your mind
when
the likes of Ssemujju come out and say, when you provoke us, we'll provide evidence?
Yes, let them provide, because that's where we are. When you talk about the cars, you see, it is even the Ssemujju who made a proposal that for us to brand this party, we need something like cars to do it. He's the one who went to buy the minibus.
No. You remember, you are the one who bought it personally.
You are the one who went to buy it down there.
Nandala, you should stop lying. The day I came to pick that value with your wife and the child, you bought it yourself personally.
No.
And then you gave me a receipt.
Who gave you?
You, personally.
How can I give you a receipt? Now you see.
I don't know. I mean, why would you lie? Why would you lie?
You see, that's where. Okay.
Even the bond where you bought it, we can go there tomorrow morning.
We can go to the bond.
I have never bought that van. No, you bought it personally.
No. And I will say that. Two, when you talk about the gases, even if I brought you the logo books of the cars, saying, that's why we even took the committee. We have been paying for those up to 2022. And you can go and check.
Honorable Nandala.
So, do you see the problem? No, I wanted to make that the cars are an indicator. No, we have paid over.
And for brand new.
Yes, they are over, and they are there with logo. You would go, by the records are there, very clear, how the money was being paid. We have given, you see, that's why you see people who are
Whose vehicle are they?
Whose names were they registered?
Which vehicles?
The 4 brand new pickups.
Which the pickups we bought for the party?
Yes.
They are in, we never bought from Cooper Motors. We bought it.
But in whose names are they registered?
No, they are in FDC, the ones we bought in Motorcare. They are there. And I can send you, Kabanjagara. I wish I had known I would have come with the records. But I can send them to you tomorrow and you confirm.
Very interesting. You see, a party that has no money to do a campaign can go to buy brand new vehicles. Up to today, I only see one pickup there. The rest were shared. Today they are personal. The following day they are for the party.
Okay, you got into campaigns when we were broke.
No, but I'm coming now.
How and where did you get the money that financed you throughout the campaigns?
You see,
that even enabled you to buy brand new pickups?
No, I want to tell you that, you see, it is not. I have not come here for accounting for money for the party. If you want money for accounting of the party, we have prepared accounts, the electoral commission. This gentleman here is a member of working committee, is a member of NEC, is a member of National Council, is a member of Delegate Conference.
But he's raising legitimate questions.
No, you see, that's the problem where we go wrong. That's why when people fear to deal with things inside, they want to go to the public to deal like that. They want to assume they are the most clean people. Today I'm going to leave you by demonstrating that Ssemujju you see here is one of the most unclean people. And that's the time when you give me. But I've told you, we're waiting for evidence that I got money from State House. But the true story is that under the meeting where there was a working committee and national executive, there was an authorization to borrow money. Where to borrow money, it is the party issue.
Did you ever take money to Besige's home?
Money to Besige's home? I have never did. I took money to him, and it was on 2nd of October. And I have even a drawing from Stanbic Bank to his home. And it is very clear I have done it. And that one is one of the issues which is being debated.
Well, we shall definitely get back to you. Honorable Winkiza,
but let me conclude.
As a former member, I'll certainly give you more time. As a former member of the FDC and a leader at that, how are you watching this drama unfolding?
It's so unfortunate and so mind-troubling that the party we founded on clear and clean principles is getting us this far. My thinking would have been that some of these issues would have been done inward, in-house, and not brought into the public domain, because what we believed in was transparency, And I still believe that the FDC is guided by the spirit of transparency. And that yes, in all aspects they are trying to be transparent, but when they get into the public domain, then it means something serious is happening. To us as members of the opposition, we feel so saddened that while we are talking about unity of the opposition, then when we are acting from different sides of the opposition, we still believe in the unity of the opposition to host the junta, and we feel uncomfortable with the outbursts from the sides that I'm listening to now. However, I do believe that if you have a boil and it is disturbing you, the only thing you can do is to burst it and let the pus come out. At that, you can get healed. So I would imagine that possibly this is a time when the FDC is saying, no, let's put our house in order. It's unfortunate that...
So the explosion is necessary?
But it is, that's why I'm saying that it's unfortunate that by putting the house in order, it has even gone out of hand. My prayer is that they find every reason.
But what do you find so significant in the entire battle?
No, what I find significant is that we are failing to unite the one Uganda, one people in the FDC. Because now you will hear someone saying, what I have been hearing is that those people don't want me because I come from a different tribe. Those people don't want me because I come from this particular region. To me, it speaks volumes that even when we say one Uganda, one people, we are now again putting boundaries and limitations of how someone should belong to the Forum for Democratic Change.
Do you divorce an invisible hand?
I was coming there. That when you live in an area where the dictator has been for a long time, some of these things he enjoys. I've told the people that President Museveni loves muddy waters. And for him, I can tell you that the invisible hand in the waters that we are seeing now is very, very clear. Because you hear that can no longer even be an invisible hand. The money is from President Museveni.
Alleged.
The alleged money, they say, is from President Museveni.
By your look of things, do you think it is very possible that some money could have exchanged hands and someone is culpable?
Well, I was a leader there. I was the chairperson of the Women's League. And at that time, the chairperson of the Women's League would sit in National Council, in the executive. I would have known if I were still a member. But at this time, we were also struggling with our own campaign at the Alliance for National Transformation. I was not keen to follow what was happening in the FDC to understand whether really they could have received the money. But now, they are saying it themselves who were there.
Like the saying goes, there is no smoke without fire.
Yeah, they are saying it themselves that there is money that came from President himself. Who am I to say no when I was not part of the group? But I really would like to continue saying we can do it better. It could have been done better than coming to the public domain and causing some discomfort in the population that believes in the opposition and believes in a good face of us.
By the time of your departure, you were also accused of the same things, having received money and bounties from the state.
You know, that is one of the reasons I love General Muntu. He told you that time is the best friend to all of us. And that with time, we shall eventually know who the real moles are.
Is the hunter now becoming the hunted?
It is for the public to now determine whether the hunter is becoming the hunted. But for me, I am still convinced that this can be handled well without necessarily causing undue...
I've never seen you
heartbreaks
looking gleefully.
And I want to ask my mother party to handle it better.
I've never seen you cheering as these two really face off. But the state is widely mentioned in this, that the state has infiltrated the FDC. Money came from State House. President Museveni is being mentioned.
Well, knowing Mr. Kagwanja, knowing where you are coming from, I know you would want to insist that nothing can go wrong in the opposition, especially with Dr. SJ, unless Museveni has a hand. You are free to have that view.
Myself?
You, yes.
Okay.
And you are free to insist. But however much you skew it, it will not make it the truth, because they are facts. In political science, we have tools of analysis that we use to come to deduct and come to a conclusion. Logical. I'm surprised by the contribution of my sister, who was in FDC for a long time as a leader, chairperson of the Women League, leader of opposition in parliament for a long time. And when the campaigns of, I think, 2018 came, she supported General Muntu. The same accusations of being immoral and 2017 and so on and so on is partly what made them flee and found Alliance for National Transformation. So you can see, for lack of a better word, and seriousness in analysis. Secondly, only this week, we have had a former member of parliament, a senior member, I want to believe, of ANT, my young brother Paul Mwiru, leaving ANT and joining NOP. This is what I've read in the papers.
No, it's official, yes.
I want to find out if NOP paid Mwiru. I want to disabuse the culture of the opposition in Uganda, that whoever disagrees with them and goes away must have been bought by somebody. You ask them, why is my sister, Honorable Winnie, why was she in the FDC? Was she also bought by the people who formed the Reform Agenda?
I was part of Reform Agenda, for your own information.
Did Muntu also buy you to abandon FDC that you founded? So I want to disabuse this thing of buying. I think time comes when either because of issues or management or style of leadership, we disagree and we say, let part ways. And that's why I believe in General Muntu to that extent, because it says, because of strategy, because of the culture, because of the leadership, I disagreed with my colleagues after 2017. I've decided to leave them so that we find ANT in the hope that our work will build a convergence somewhere to deal with the NRM and Museveni.
Yeah, but the central issue here is money that came from your principal president, Museveni.
You made your contribution. Let me make my contribution.
Yeah, you'll come in.
His contribution is referring to my presentation. I will have to reverse.
Yes. So I have said you are free to insist, because in any case, all the viewers know where you belong, your political persuasion anyway, and so it's okay for you, the moderator, to insist, to refuse to listen to reason and logic and insist that Museveni or NRM brought money to the Nandalas. Let us trace FDC from 2001 when they started the Reform Agenda. At no single point in that continent up to today hasn't there been accusation from FDC that people who disagree with them and join NRM or remain in NRM can only do so because they have been bought. There's no single time in the continent since 2000, 2001. I want to take you back. In 2001, they even sponsored a media advert where they were making you nduru about Bimu State House. We went and complained to the Electoral Commission and the Communications Commission at that time that this kind of campaign advert was unpalatable, and they pulled it down. 2001. So all the time, however, you remember the question of Betty Kamia when she disagreed over the replacement of Haji Sulaiman Chigundo, Dr. Chigundo, the chairperson of Uganda FDC, who had died. You remember when she disagreed and she was making Muranga in Najana Nkumbi, they also said, you are coming to do so, you are trying to be disruptive because you are a mall, you have been given money
and
by
finally,
DNR.
where is she?
Two.
As we speak, where is she?
Two. I mean,
you need to answer that as well.
If people say so, you get converted and say, okay, let me go to where you are pushing me.
Well, this was a similar narrative on Mao. Finally, is now
we had about 3 years ago the question of Nabila Nagai. You remember? Over mayorship, she tried to go to NOB and so on and so forth. She was shoved out of FDC again, accusing her of having been bought. So this has been the trend in FDC, and I dare say part of the opposition. It is possible that there are people who shift positions because they have been given money. But I want to believe in the majority of cases, people disagree with the style of management, with the leadership, and so on, and they find a new home. I think we are building the politics of opposition on the wrong grounds if we say whoever disagrees with us. I have been here for a long time. I can tell you that in 2000, 2001, Nandala here. You remember at that time we were having presidential elections first, and then we go for parliamentary elections. In that election, Nandala here came to me. I was the Director of Information and Public Relations at the movement secretary at that time. And Nandala here confessed to me, he said, I am a person of reform agenda, of opposition. However, in Mbale, as you know, in the Bugisu sub-region, Museveni as a person is strong. You're my brother, because we had met at the university. I think it was a year or two behind me at the university. But we were meeting because he was a roommate of Robert Masolo, who eventually became our Director General of External Security. And they came to me, together, by the way, with Professor Ogenga Latigo, and they said, we are opposition. However, where we are going, that area of Agago at that time was Museveni leaning. And they said, we want some posters of Museveni so that we are able also to carry along Museveni supporters to come and vote for us in the parliamentary election, in the main election. Indeed, I gave them, and as they say, the rest is history. So I have known Nandala as a strong opposition. So to start doubting him today, in my view, I think there must be one or two things that is happening. And like I said, we all know, you remember in 2001, we've been severed relations temporarily with the Republic of Rwanda. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do.
What was the issue? At that time, Honorable Murun Mukasa was the Minister of Security. And we gazetted, we said, we suspect that Besigye, the reform agenda, was obtaining money from the Republic of Rwanda. As you know, we had fought wars in Kisangani and other, in those places. And we blacklisted. I don't know if you remember, because we blacklisted in accordance with the electoral law. So for somebody today to come and say, we don't know where this money is coming from, I find disingenuity. I find they are not sincere to themselves.
Who is being dishonest here?
I think both sides are being dishonest, but more the side of my elder brother, Mr. Besigye. Well, remember again, in that same 2001, I want to tell you.
I want to take a very short break.
I've been here for a long time. In that campaign of 2001, I remember the then companion of Mr. Besigye, Honorable Winnie Byanyima, were having a debate at Makerere University during the election as part of drumming support. It was a panel discussion. Dr. Ssemujju was there. The later Graworo was in that panel. I was in that panel. The Honorable Winnie Byanyima was in that panel. Honorable Winnie Byanyima made an allegation in Makerere University main hall discussion that the NRM was using state money to sponsor candidates that were leaning to Museveni. When my turn came, she didn't know that I had come with a photocopy of a check of the CA campaigns, Constituent Assembly of 1994. That campaign of 1994, the Movement Secretariat, which was a state organ at that time, funded certain candidates. Winnie Byanyima happened to have been one of the candidates funded. I had 2 checks. One was 6 million, another was 3 million. If anybody is remembering, in that campaign, Honorable Winnie Byanyima at that time campaigned against John Timber. Mr. John Timber, he has long died. He was the then Minister of State for Higher Education. If people remember very well, there was a plane that was dropping campaign flyers for Honorable Winnie Byanyima towards the end of the campaign. When Winnie Byanyima said the movement secretary was sponsoring certain candidates, I came onto the podium and I said, look, this is not the first time the movement secretary is funding candidates selectively. From my file, I brought out a photocopy of those 2 checks and I displayed. Guess what Honorable Winnie Byanyima did? She just packed her bags and stormed out of the debate and said I had embarrassed her. To this day, call her here, she will tell you she can't debate with me. Well, since that time. So this bad mouthing of the opposition has been the character of its politics, and I think it is not healthy. Let me just wind up. If the issue is if the issue is that Honorable Nandala Mafabi and Engineer Muriat want to hand over FDC to NRM, in my view, they don't need a new election, because as we speak now, they are the 2 principal leaders of FDC. They can actually hand over FDC if they have received money. They don't need a new election, which they are even not sure if they can win. So if you add those things, you can see that the motive for the accusation, maybe they have not come clean with sources of money, but I suspect the motive for the accusation could be something else. And Honorable Ssemujju himself, we'll
get back to this.
Honorable Ssemujju himself has insinuated. Yesterday, Honorable Ssemujju said that they are being targeted because they are coming from a certain region. Nandala here has made a similar claim that they are being targeted because they are also coming from. So you can see that their politics is taking, I think, an ethnic or sectarian lane.
Well, we are certainly going to get back to the debate. The question that remains unanswered is, why is the money issue coming up now? And who indeed bankrolled FDC in 2021? But as we take a break, Honorable Mafabi, did you say you don't wear short-sleeved shirts?
I don't.
Rather long-sleeved?
No, I wear short-sleeved. Do you want me to remove my jacket and I say?
You see that?
Where?
You want to see that?
When?
Who is that?
When is that?
Who is that?
No, when is that?
Who is that?
No, I want you to tell me when is that.
Who is that?
Tell me when is that.
We'll take a break.
I don't wear long.
NBS Frontline. NBS Frontline.
Welcome back to the Frontline as we continue exploring the deeper story in the raging storm within the FDC. Honorable Ssemujju, why has Katonga remained a pain to Najana Nkumbi? Again, the issue of Katonga is arising now.
You see,
they are saying Katonga, it is Katonga that is bringing all this situation.
I joined the politics and FDC 2010. After the 2011 general elections, Dr. Besigye wanted to work with all democracy-seeking forces. But at that time, within the party, You announce a program and they say NEC hasn't approved it. He chose to go and stay at Katonga and started, that's why we were meeting with the Nambozes, the Kwagos, and all the others. FOC. Because you don't want to be encumbered by resolutions, NEC has said we are not part of that program. If you want to do activism, you want to do civil disobedience, you come as a person. They don't have to be political parties. That's how he went there. In this particular case, and I have told Amriat in many meetings, you were the ones at Katonga every day saying those of us who were with General Muntu at Najana Nkumbi were boardroom politicians.
Was Nandala part of the
going
group?
To be, he was partly there, but his involvement was not as much as the one of Amriat. And Amriat said they are bringing Katonga. Remember when she said those of us in parliament are doing nothing, that he was going to bring defiance. I didn't know that the defiance he meant was money. So they were the ones who were in Katonga lambasting and haranguing everybody who is at Najana Nkombi. Now I saw Amriat, that level of dishonesty, that there are two power centers. Someone who has been in Katonga as a minister for works, someone who has been with Dr. Besigye, even when we had TDA meetings to try to arrive at a candidate, General Muntu is a very decent person. The people who came to pick Dr. Besigye from the meeting, Amriat was one of them with Odongo To and Ekanya. So the level of dishonesty, this time we cannot stand it anymore.
Well, Honorable Nandala, is the Katonga factor partly or majorly the major reason FDC is now on tenterhooks?
You see, I wanted also to put something in context, because we shouldn't get rid of issues of money. We have said he who has evidence, who alleges, must prove. And this business of tarnishing people, you know what I was saying? If you want to say somebody is dirty, you mention Museveni's money. But I want to tell you here that Ssemujju came in, he has told you, he came on the way. And we want to state that from 2001, we have funded elections. 2006, we funded. 2011, we funded. And I think...
And you accounted.
Yes.
You funded and accounted.
Yeah, and we've been there. And
but this time you're not accounting.
We have accounted. That's why I'm coming again. You see, if you cannot question those years, and you question 2021, is where I want to explain. That's why you see Doctor talking about there. A gentleman who has been supported by these other people, now you already bring Katonga and Najana Nkumbi. I have been there for Doctor from day one. And I want Doctor to come with him and say, the money I got was from this source. I want him to come and state here, because this will solve a lot of problems. And we are working here, we are working with files. We know, we may not know all, but we have files about some of these issues. Ssemujju is here. He has a campaign. If there's an MP who has funded the campaign very well, Ssemujju, if you are trying to use the inference.
No.
Listen,
can you respond to my question? I'll raise those issues later.
Okay.
To what extent is Katonga causing the unease at Najana Nkumbi?
Katonga, Doctor left FDC saying he's going to activism. In fact, he should act for activism. And in our constitution, under Article 12, duties of a member, which I must read here, so that everybody listen. The duties of every member is to protect the name of the party, work honestly and efficiently for the party, promote the aims and objectives of the party, register and vote, pay his or her party dues, canvass support for the party. The moment you don't register and vote, you are not a member. So for us as Najana Nkumbi, we said it will be too prolonged. We must do participate in election and activism. Our friends at Katonga says it's on activism. And the people who are saying activism are the people who are even elected, like Lord Mayor is saying. For me, I was waiting for Lord Mayor to say, to resign. Then I would say, hey, it is serious. But for him, he's starting getting and whatever. Converse, pay his dues or party dues. Some of these members, you see, are just making noise, but they don't pay party dues. I want to thank Ssemujju pays his dues from Parliament.
How about Besigye?
You ask him. He doesn't pay. Even Lukwago, as a road mayor, he doesn't pay. But you see, making noise at whatever. The other one, canvass support for the party. To convert support for the party, it means when our candidates have stood, you must campaign for them. We have history here.
Are you sure Besigye doesn't pay subscription? His membership to the party?
That one we shall deal with at the right time. But I want to talk about this one, of where you support membership. I want here to live here. Ssemujju here and Lukwago were here. When the Amuriat came here, they never conferred support for him. We can assume Mr. Amuriat was what needed first. What about the local councillors? What about other MPs? I had one MP saying, I'm happy I'm the only MP from this region. That's very criminality. You cannot be only one and be happy. You should convert support for your members.
Okay.
So, sir, Kagwa, you brought us to deal with matters.
Okay.
So, what is the problem with Nagi?
You mean Honorable Ssemujju doesn't have FDC leaders?
If the votes of a mayor are the same voters of MP, why didn't the mayor is not mayor here?
Honorable Ssemujju, this in a way augments the argument from Honorable Nandala. Honorable, you hold it there. When he was addressing the press conference, he said, you and your group are targeting taking FDC to the national unity platform. That what you're raising is not the matter at hand. The issue that you're raising is to weaken FDC and deliver it to NUP.
And he said, you need to continue, that he would rather take a FDC to NRM.
I'm not sure he said that.
Who said? I saw obviously now. You see these people was there. I have
would
never
rather take it to NRM.
Where? Because I'm
but
here.
Let me tell you.
Okay, that's okay. Let me record it. You see
for
okay.
me, I have worked for the FDC to the best of my ability, as people say. What I didn't do, I am sorry, it was not within my ability. As opposition, our view I am now running is different from them. Everybody who is involved in fighting the Museveni family that have taken over this country is an ally, whether you have a party or you don't have it. I don't see anything wrong working with NUP. I don't see it absolutely. Why shouldn't I work with NUP? Why shouldn't I work with any other opposition?
No, you want to weaken FDC and then build NUP.
Weaken it by doing what?
By mudslinging. The blackmail campaign.
You are missing the point. The last elections were there. He says you not campaign for Amuriat.
Yes, you did.
I am the one who branded Amuriat, drove him to the nomination before he was kidnapped from me there.
And that's where it stopped.
Because I also had a campaign to run. Ask Besigye if I have been moving around with Besigye. My duty is to brand you and release you to go and campaign. And I also concentrate on my own campaign because I am a candidate.
Yeah, but in your constituency, you never campaigned.
He didn't come to my constituency. In Kampala and Wakiso, he only came to Nakawa. I was with him here in Naguru. And then we are tear gassed there. So really, they are just scapegoating. Me, I stood with FDC, and my work, by the way, in the campaign, you were the one inviting me every now and then to speak for Amuriat. So did you want me to carry him on my back?
I just want to tell our viewers out there that shortly we'll be reading out some of the comments that are running on Afro Mobile. And we want to thank you very much for your subscription to Afro Mobile. Please continue.
So I'm asking you, did you want me to carry Amuriat on my back? Because the moment you have candidates that are spread, in fact, their duty, if they are at a regional level, they can help. But first and foremost, they have to do their own campaign for them to be successful. In my constituency, the whole of Chira municipality was blue. I campaigned for FDC candidate. I have councillors at all levels in my constituency. But for me, those are small things. I don't want to be diverted from the
Let's
bigger
get to
issue.
the big issue.
The bigger issues is money and elections.
The big issue?
Yes. So these smaller issues, it's just people to
is Nandala's sinister plot that you allege that he wants to take FDC to NRM.
I have no doubt in my mind that by bringing money from Mr. Museveni, and I have no doubt that that money came.
Why do you link it to Mr. Museveni?
You see,
is there any clue whatsoever?
There are things that we don't say. One time the Honorable Amanya Mushega told me, Osijirenda.
But you said
so you may not want to disclose each and everything. But this money came. I have told you Nandala says we're a party that is broke, we don't have money. The first thing is to go to motor care and buy brand new vehicles. This has never happened in the history of the FDC. In a campaign, I have prepared Dr. Besigye to go for presidential campaigns. We've been using old vehicles, just one van. But this time, brand new. And up to today, I don't know, except one that I sometimes see at Najanankom. The rest went with them, they are their vehicles. So the bigger issue in the FDC is that money came in, what were the conditions?
From undisclosed source.
Because
can you keep it at that?
Let me tell you, the tradition of the party, and I have been sitting at all the organs of the party, when you have money that has come in, you may actually not even disclose the source. But we sit, we have a finance committee, you disclose it, you can tell us that the source does not want to be known. And then it is formally expended. That's why the Deputy Treasurer General, the Honorable Mwijuchi, also doesn't know. So if this money came in, the first thing is to come and disclose it, and then institutionally spend that money. Then you all take responsibility for it. But this particular one, as the Honorable Mwijuchi said, was being spent at his residence. And I have told you, the time of arrival is the time you see. There are things that I will not say because I don't want to be indecent.
Well, Honorable Nandala, do you insist that the source of funding will never be disclosed?
You see, you know that.
And how honest are you being, especially after bringing out the other shirt issue?
No.
And we are now looking at.
There's somebody that sent me the message of the shirt. Those are in my earlier years.
You said you never wear short-sleeved shirts.
You watch. I want to tell you, if I have taken, I think more than, okay, let me maybe make it simpler. In the last 10 years, I have not put on a long sleeved shirt, if I want to be simpler. Because these issues, we are talking of 21. But I can say that was in my formative. Somebody has sent me a message.
Okay.
But you have to tell, and you can see, because I'm not used to it, I'd even forwarded it already. I don't know if you saw it. It wasn't tied. It shows you that I am allergic to long-sleeved shirts.
Yeah, but it's not the first time that you've been photographed with long-sleeved shirts.
No, you take Kabaganjaga. This is what Kabaganjaga. Kabaganjaga. I have not. What I want to state, I have said in this. You see, anybody who mentions man, that's why we have said bring evidence. And I want to tell you, because the one whom you're talking about, Deputy Treasurer General, he's fundraising. He has never fundraised even 1 shilling. If he fundraised for himself. Because those are the people, those are things we're talking about. The committee does not, that committee you're talking of finance is chaired by the Treasurer General.
Okay. Now, did the Besigye question the source of money at any moment when you took money to him?
No. And you see, that is where we are saying he never. And that's why it was one of the things which was taken.
Did you take money to his residence?
I have said yes. And what he never questioned.
Where did you pick it from?
From the bank. And I've even given them a statement of a bank, Stanbic Bank, Chambogo.
How did it get onto your account in Stanbic?
You don't know that I'm a businessman. My friend, let me tell you, I am a large taxpayer. I file my returns annually for companies and persons. I've just checked, of course. Some of my colleagues, they don't file returns. Go and cross-check about me, if you're not aware. I was not coming as a peasant.
But
now, let me make my case. You see? Now, if I was talking about that, is where we make mistakes. But that's one where we have said, I am ready for evidence. Because if doctor said the money was bad, why didn't he return it and say, this evidence, this is stolen what? Stolen money. If when we're receiving the money back because the money was made for agents, we received it in installments on 14th of January, twice.
Received from?
From the petrol station in Zambia. So, but that is what I said, those are matters for the elders community.
You withdrew money from your account, took it to Besigye. What did you want him to do with the money?
No, we said for agents. But because, let me tell you, every election.
Yet he wasn't participating in the exercise.
Ask him if it was the first time. You ask him.
You see, I think we also need to be honest. Besigye is not here. Yeah, that's why I said this issue of the money, the Honorable Nandala should stop provoking us. When you took the money to Besigye, you told him someone had given you money, it was too much, you wanted him to keep it. That's why Besigye convenes the first meeting where you, Nandala, Ekanya, Jack Sabit, Wafula Ogutusad, and you said the money came from your radio station. Now you are changing stories.
Can you imagine it now?
You said, because first of all, you are choosing Besigye that did not campaign for Amuriat. That bad man, why would you take him money?
No.
The very bad man who is very bad, doesn't campaign for Amuriat, and then you carry money to him. Why? Why didn't you bring it to me? Was it too much that you, Nanda, you cannot keep 300 million shilling?
No, we're coming now. You have seen. What happened is between me and the
Dr. money, let me tell you, was too much. They were fidgeting with it, looking for where to put it. That's how you went to Besigye's place.
I never went to Besigye's home.
You sent your brother at midnight.
No, Besigye, we were in Katonga.
You said that money
now, you were not there. You
with your brother. I know, because
I am the one. I went on second.
And Besigye was frightened.
No way.
That's how he convenes the first meeting. Wafula, Jack Sabit, Ekanya, you sat in the meeting.
Besigye fears 300 million.
300 million?
He was frightened that someone can bring you money to say we have too much money, can you help us keep it?
If he has kept billions, you want to tell you if he has done it.
Why of all people would you consider Besigye to receive money?
Who is a very hostile man, not campaigning.
You said he wasn't supporting your candidate. What kind of dishonesty is this?
No. On 2nd October, campaigns are not. Are you getting me? It was 2nd October.
But the meeting had sat in the Besigye's compound with you. I was there, and he said, you will find me in the shade reading books. I am not following you in your campaigns.
No. He never said anything like that.
But people were there. You can bring here Wafula. Ask Ekanya.
I think let us be frank to each other. Let me tell you that the money was taken on 2nd October 2020. The campaign went up to 14th of January. Those were more than 2.5 months.
And all throughout, Besigye was keeping the money.
Exactly. That's why we are saying. That's why you can ask. And we have done it always. Why? Because we said they can garnish my account. For agents, let us keep this. And it was for that. You see, we had said each polling station we shall pay 10,000.
How did Besigye react when you took the money?
First of all, we talked at Katonga. You see, if people are sincere, we talked at Katonga. Then he said, no, you go and get it, you bring it to my home. I'll be there in the evening. And you can't say it was midnight. It when we drew it, the boy drove at about 6 to Kanani's place. And that's why by then a good thing, the bank is very eager listen to me, even the bank is very eager to give us the cameras.
Do we then say that Amuriati's campaigns were solely funded by Nandala Mafabi?
No, that's it. Now what we are trying to say that those were the poorly funded campaigns. These other campaigns of Doctor were in billions, 10, 15. This was not more than 3 billion. It was the most poorly funded campaign.
Listen, a poorly funded campaign where you bought brand new.
That was an advert. You say branding.
Brand new.
You see branding.
Double cabin pickups.
And I want you to tell you,
Ford.
Mr. Moderator, that if you went to motor cares, if they are listening, they will show you that we last...
Was it Cooper or Motor Care?
Motor Care. Yes. We last paid in 2022. That means we paid it over a period of what? Time.
And where were you getting the money from?
From the party.
A broke party?
No, we're not a broke party. Are you not aware we get money from funding from Political Organizations Act? We get money. Are you getting it?
Why are you oblivious of all these facts that the party has money and they've been able to clear off all the outstanding debts?
See, let me tell you, this issue of the money, and that's why we had wanted to handle it internally. At every stage, the amount is different. Just discount the amount of the pickups, the 300 that is with Dr. Besigye, the money that we gave to candidates for nomination. I had a budget, and Nandala gave me money to do branding. And all
in your constituency?
No. This was money to do branding of the presidential candidate. The money was too much.
Did you partake of the suspicious money?
No, I was given money to do branding, and I accounted to him.
I've never got accountability, sir.
You can lie. The one you brought to the working committee, who gave it to you?
You see,
you like lying and playing a victim.
No, I want to tell you that I am here.
It cannot save you.
No, and I'm going.
It cannot save you. You can deny 24 hours. I gave you because there was an order for you to account for all the money, and you brought accountability.
How much were you given?
170 million. That's the one I used to do billboards for Amriyat, to buy a vehicle which he bought himself.
And you couldn't question the source then?
We had received money from Electoral Commission, 1.8 billion. There was no need for me. Under Muntu, we have borrowed money. This is not a secret. We went to Crane Bank and borrowed 800 million shillings to sponsor candidates. The money was brought there, we distributed it. This is the first time that even the money that has come from Electoral Commission, you have to go and ask the Secretary General, because the systems are broken down, they are not there. So someone can come here and attempt to soil Besigye. Because for me, the issue, why did you have to go and keep the money of Besigye?
Is the 300 or 400 that you took to Besigye part of the money you picked from the Electoral Commission?
No. You see, I have a statement and I've showed them. But let me tell you, when he makes a mistake that we went to move to Crane Bank to borrow money to pay Nani, I was at, please, I want to be, let me tell you, we have never borrowed money from Crane Bank to pay for candidates. The money we borrowed from Nani Orient Crane Bank was basically for the property we have.
Is it Crane or Orient? Or Orient Crane?
We borrowed for nomination because the money from Electoral Commission delayed.
Crane Bank,
yes.
For purpose of
you cannot lie. Even simple things.
No,
because why would you hide
listen,
that?
I'm going to explain some of the borrowing. The borrowing we have got, let me tell you, there have been two. Yes, she was all up. We used to borrow from the circle. Two, the maximum you could borrow in the bank like Crane on your own, it could not go beyond 50 million.
Honorable Nandala,
now,
is there an invisible funder you're hesitant to name?
No. There's no invisible funder, but there are funders you cannot name. We have, you see, let me tell you.
But Njera, you are jumping from one question to another. We have 300 from Nandala's account. Where is the money for buying vehicles came from?
It's there. Everything is there has been accounted.
So it came from where?
You go, I've told you, we have paid money over a period of what time? We have money we have borrowed. There was a resolution. We are not going to bring and talk about everything we do in the party here. And that's where people go wrong. They want us to come here again. To come, but
some of the arguments or the submissions that you make are rather personal. You go to an extent of saying, we started seeing one of the beneficiaries raising apartments during campaigns.
I don't want to be provoked to say things.
You say it. Because today we're going to say it.
With my experience.
You say it.
With my no. You are not the moderator. Account for the money where you
no, you say it. Today we're here.
The reason I asked this because I wanted to leave it broader, so other people can also ask questions. I have told you I have been in charge of branding presidential campaigns. I've been part of the campaign bureaus since 2011, 2016, and then 2021 elections. People can come here and demand for evidence. So you mean when Museveni gives you money, you are going to issue him a receipt?
You must sign.
He's going to give you a receipt.
When you went for Article 110, didn't you sign?
Which Article 110?
I hope you know it.
No, I don't know. Tell me. Tell me. The money that come to me in Parliament, we went with you.
No, that's...
We went with you. Because you said when we went. I have never gone with you.
You went to Article 110. Now, do you know what it is?
No. Tell me, where did we go? You see,
no, please. You are at liberty. Yes. You are at liberty to spill the beans. Okay, I need to hear this.
Now let me explain to you. You see, Ssemujju wants to be Mr. Clean. I want to tell you, I have here a document for 6 months only. If you compute the number of days he traveled in 6 months outside of the country, is 145 days. Internally, it is 48.
I need to look at this.
I'm going to give it to you. 148 days plus 145 days plus 48 is 193 days. Yet 6 months is only 183 days. He got a total of 374 million. He travels business class.
No, but these are...
Listen.
Diversionary allegations.
No, we're not sure about cleanness.
No, it's okay. Let him go ahead.
You see
we deal with it once and for all.
You see here, let me tell you. You cannot be in one place twice. I get
in
it.
2 places twice.
You're in 2 places twice.
At the same time.
Okay, more than once. 2, this one we have brought, if we brought it 2001, because we want to be a bit nani, you would see how people really have played with this country. You get 2002, under this document.
If I could just take a look.
No, let him first finish. Let him first finish.
Oh, please send,
and
send
we
me.
deal with
please
it.
Send it to me. Please send it to me. Please send it to me. Well, this is interesting.
So, if a man can say he's clean, in 6 months he has earned 374 million. In 1 year, there's a year where he earned a total of over 700 million. It clearly shows there are people who want to pretend to be clean when they are not.
Okay.
Let me make my case.
No, let him complete. Let him complete.
It wouldn't be an issue if he earns legitimately, unless you are saying some of the earning, some of the payments
is dubious.
Are dubious.
You read through.
Okay.
And what we want today to do today is to ask government, because you see, IGG looks for people, URA looks for people, back duties here.
Okay.
Let me make my case. 2, you are saying that we made money with boycott. He branded himself with billboards.
No, let's first finish with this.
No, we're going, because I want to tell you in context.
I think it's very important.
No, it's okay, let Nandala finish. Let him finish.
He branded himself with billboards.
Yes.
His billboards was over 1 billion shillings.
A billboard?
No, you check the bills he made, billboards. Did you see them? Check. Every 5 meters, you will get a billboard with Ssemujju. Every bill, you see himself alone, not talking about another candidate. He has a fund, you see.
So you're also questioning the source of the
when
funding.
you look at people, because they have known where they pick the money, they assume everybody goes there. And that's why we have to ask those questions, those tough questions.
Where does Ssemujju pick money
So
from?
are you saying
by insinuation
that Ssemujju picks money from State House?
But what is that?
Or from President Museveni, and therefore he thinks you also go to the same source? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying so.
Okay,
because for
great.
him, he knows how people pick money
Let's
from
bring the ball to Ssemujju.
From
Over
the
to you,
ball
Honorable
from
Ssemujju.
First
You're taking over my role, but it's
First of
okay.
all, I am very happy. Even the kids of nursery would not reason like Nandala Mafabi. You gave me money to do Amuriati's billboards. How many billions did you give me for Amuriat? A billboard in Soroti, in Indeba, along with the Gaba Road, in Kamocha. How many billions did you give me? You don't even remember that the biggest amount per billboard was 7 million. You don't even remember. The money for travels in Parliament. Parliament has a well-elaborated procurement system. There is no Parliament who will give you tickets to go to 3 destinations the same day. Nandala, did you go to school?
Today we were going
Did you go to school?
I went.
And you think the elaborate parliamentary procurement system can give someone 3 tickets to leave the same day to go to 3 places? Parliament, before you get any travel, the speaker will sign, the clerk, the director of finance, another accountant, you first account for the previous. But because, and you see, this document that is a...
Flagship.
Yes. The first time it came out, it was Museveni's family who wanted me arrested. I don't know how they gave it to you. Because they are the ones who had it. When I read Museveni's budget in Parliament, they wanted me arrested, and that's why they are trying to put together. That's how you work with them. So
no,
they now
that one we're going
they
to
now passed it over to you to come.
Where is the source of this?
I want to tell you this today.
You see,
where is the source?
Kagwa, let me tell you today. This one now,
let me go
we want now. Because
No,
now
where is the source of this?
that's a government document. It's not stamped, but it's a government document. And I want to state it to you today.
From which office? From which office did you obtain
Don't
this?
worry about the office.
No, it's very important.
Whistleblowers, you don't give information.
Okay.
Now let him deny that that's not his payments.
I have told you, Parliament cannot
No,
issue
do you deny it first?
to depart. 6
months.
No, I mean this forgery. I have told you.
Do you deny it? Do you deny
the
it?
first group that was parading it was Museveni's family.
Number 2.
Let me now finish with the issue of billboards. I did billboards. I don't know why they were very painful to you. You see, Nandala, for me, I plan my campaign because I use my head, for you use your body. A billboard in Ichira, the biggest amount you pay for a billboard in Ichira per month, because you are renting. Let me teach you now. You do business, I don't know how you do it. Even musicians, they have billboards. And you have been around, Ssemujju had billboards. A billboard in Ichira, the highest amount you pay to rent a billboard in Ichira is 2.5 million per month. For 3 months, you need 7.5. There are also billboards of less than $1 million shilling. And I saw you at a press conference, said, because you said you even worked for World Bank. I don't know, maybe they were balancing to have given you a job. That you can't even do billboards, you can't check in Kampala how much is a billboard. You've seen even musicians who are going to have a concert of not more than 20 million have a billboard. And you think an MP who earns the amount of money that you know because you earn it cannot have a billboard. You should stop being diversionary.
You finish and
you should stop being diversionary.
No, so let me.
Okay. I want to go to Honorable Winnie. Honorable Winnie hasn't said anything in this hour. We just want to be fair.
Let me respond to this gentleman. You see, this gentleman wants to be very bright by being abusive, but I want to tell him that you will not divert me.
No.
The way you are being
abusive. Not answered.
No, he is not answering. How do I do business? I do business, and I account. I studied. And what I do is that when I was employed on merit.
Okay, Honorable Nandala.
So what?
Honorable Nandala. Just a second. Honorable Nandala. How much did you contribute to Amuriat's campaign from your account?
Me? It's a lot of money. I've even contributed to Dr. Jesige.
No. How much for the 2021 campaigns? How much did you contribute?
You ask Jesige how much I've contributed to you.
No,
I'm not going to answer.
In precise terms.
No, I'm not going to answer that one.
No, you said you picked 300 million from your account.
No, I'm not going to answer that one. Please.
Honorable Winnie, with all these contradictions and the growing animosity between the two camps, Katonga and Najjana Nkumbi, do you see another exodus from the FDC very imminent?
Well, I don't know whether there will be another exodus, but like I said at the very beginning, it's very unfortunate that it's happening and so ugly like this. And you know what my brother didn't understand? When he said, you know, members of the opposition have a way they blame everybody on Museveni. I said, at this particular moment, someone is saying Museveni gave us money as a political party. It's not that other opposition politicians are blaming Museveni. Museveni funded. And then, two, there is nobody so far who has gone out of the party that you are saying, I think they are now again saying Museveni is the one who has bought them. No, it is an eternal matter. Nobody has gone out of the party for the party to say, I think so-and-so is buying them. He brought in the issue of Mwiru. To us at the Alliance for National Transformation, we did not actually blame anyone for Mwiru's going. We did not say there was anybody who bought Mwiru. We actually said we are going to miss Mwiru. He has been one of the top leaders at the Alliance for National Transformation. And we wished him well where he's going. We did not say that anybody bought Mwiru because we believe in respect. We respect people's choices, we respect people's views, we respect people's ideas. And two, to us at the Alliance for National Transformation, we believe in tolerance as one of our values. And so we understood that Mwiru needed to transit. That is why we said, we wish you well. We did not blame it on anyone because we know that our motto is people first, a new future. We thought possibly he had gotten information from his people that they wanted him no. And if he has to put people first, then he had to go to where he is. And we are also still convinced that as opposition actors, we are acting from different directions, but same destination. And so there is no way we could have said Mwiru has gone because Nupo has bought him. No, Mwiru is still in the same struggle, though we shall miss him at the Alliance for National Transformation, but we shall continue working together as comrades who are seeking for change. And so we can't blame him. That's why I even said that it's unfortunate that the FDC is bringing this into the public domain. it makes life hard for us as opposition to think of working together. We would have done it better than it is being done now. I have not said there is a problem with Museveni. Museveni has funded people, and the people you referred to, all of them have ended up in Museveni's hands to actually now actualize the people's speculations.
Honorable Winnie, one of the persons who forced your exit out of FDC was Nandala Mafabi, because of the accusations he used to level against some of you. Has really time come now to reveal the man he is at the end of the day?
I said at the very beginning, my first submission, that General Muntu said that time, the best friend to all of us. I kind of got surprised when you're
going to come in.
Will come in. I said I kind of got surprised when I had my brother Nandala accusing Vestige of coming in with activism, when actually him and Amriat accused us of not supporting activism, that party building is not the way to go for the party. Because for us, we believed at that time that we can use both to take the party forward. One, we can build the structures and then use the structures for purposes of activism, should we believe that we want to go the activism way. And the campaign for Amriat at that time was that one party, one strategy. So they didn't believe in two strategies, including Mafabi. So when he says that, you know, Katonga now wanted to come in with activism, I got shocked. I said, but Mafabi, this is what you believed in. Activism is what you believed in, and Muntu was branded them all together with all those who believed in his method of work.
In your assessment, who of these two is being dishonest?
Well, about the money, I can't know who is being dishonest because I ceased to sit in the caucuses of the FDC. And so I can't know how much money they had.
How about the high-handedness that Nandala is being accused of?
I witnessed it when we were in the campaign of General Muntu. So I wouldn't say it is something new. I witnessed it.
Well, there are very interesting comments that I need to share with our viewers coming off Afro Mobile. Oh, you can hold it there. Bob Chiwome says, Patrick Amuriat, Nandala Mafabi should allow to be audited.
It has been done and submitted to Electoral Commission.
Tembo Dennis, Nandala, I have your picture while in a long-sleeved shirt. Oyet Patrick, money don't cause wahala. Ruth Chiai, exactly this issue should have been handled off TV. Well, there are several other comments that will be coming in, and before we take a very short break, when you listen to the different versions and the contradictions, do they really speak to something boiling?
Those of us who read political history, I would refer you to Joe R. McCarthy. Joseph McCarthy was a senator from Wisconsin in the U.S. Senate, 1950, when he was making this brouhaha about communist infiltrators in the different branches of the government of the U.S. He caused so much pandemonium until he was outed around 1954. He died a dejected man. I think what some of our colleagues in Parliament in the opposition are doing a replica of McCarthyism, leveling accusations, and when you ask them, please substantiate, not just today. Even yesterday, the other day, ask them, so-and-so has got money. Please bring small iota of evidence. So then you put them to the wall to deny aid the photograph in a compromising position, a document.
Ssemujju says when provoked,
it doesn't need to be provoked, I think, for his own. And sometime back, I told my brother Ssemujju, I said, Ssemujju, actually early this year, I told him, the way you are moving, speaking on everything, hopping from this radio to that one, you appear to me as somebody who is almost going to run past his home. I think...
So you are not happy that I go to radio station?
No, it's okay. I think I'm just
But he's
making.
a party spokesperson.
I'm just giving an analogy. There is a kind of McCarthyism in the opposition, making accusation, knowing that the psyche in the country today, you make accusation and leave it to Ofono to fight to clear himself. Whether the accusation is right, I think it is not the right way to go. The best way would be to handle some matters internally, since they had been colleagues for a long time. And I want to believe maybe this is not going to be the last time they are working together. Look at, for whatever fault you may have with President Museveni, you never hear him say dirty things about the people who have fallen out with him.
I think this is the first time I'm hearing Opondo giving 2 cents to the opposition.
Yes, it is rare. I am giving you. 2, Honorable Ssemujju says Parliament has a meticulous system of accountability, how you requisition for a trip, how you must account for the previous one. How we know that in that Parliament, not just this one, including the previous ones, there were people who literally, their bags were at the airport. They come from this trip, they go, they don't even reach Kampala. They just change. The bigger ones, I think their bags would even find them at the next airport. You'll find the top leadership of Parliament was not here for 2-3 weeks. Sometimes Parliament would not sit. So that can't be a sign that there's a meticulous process in that Parliament. 3, which is a rider. I want to refer Honorable Ssemujju to what they call the House of Commons expenses scandal in the UK. In both the lower house, the House of Commons, and in the Lords, 2009, where MPs and ministers were found to be flipping. They sleep in their residences in London, but claim allowances in their constituencies as if they were coming from their constituencies. In our own Parliament, we have had cases. You know. Yeah,
but what was this meant to divert us from the thrust of the debate?
No, I'm simply saying it is not correct to say that the system in Parliament or the system in the government of Uganda is so meticulous that can't be abused.
No, you didn't understand me, Ofono.
Maybe I didn't understand you.
There are basic things.
Yes.
Even if you're a person of average understanding,
yes,
you cannot issue 3 tickets.
No.
And you are departing the same day.
But
the other accusation is I agree with you.
Yes, but Honorable Ssemujju, you remember?
At least, yes, they will find it. But you cannot say that someone has traveled.
But Honorable Ssemujju, you remember
because when I was with Nandala as his minister, he knows we are traveling together. I remember when we were in Sweden, we came back, we went to America, we came back, you sent me to Liberia. So you mean when I was traveling with you, it was okay?
But let me just develop my point. But when the opium scandal broke out in 2010, you remember?
The Kazinda.
You remember the Auditor General audited the books there. And remember one of the findings before it was scrutinized, was that the First Lady, Janet Museveni, who was then, I think, the Minister for Karamoja Affairs, would travel to Israel twice in a day, I think, to that effect. But it was found that it was a forgery, and so on and so forth. The other one, which I want to conclude with, is that this accusation of money, each time we are nearing and starting another cycle of election, my own suspicion, and this is borne by the meeting of elements in FDC and NOP last year, I think. You remember when they went for a meeting in Nairobi? I think the information there was that they were being funded by the Open Society of America, of a man called George Soros. I am told, I don't know, I'm yet to verify, that they were given conditions that the FDC and the NOP should unite so as to be eligible to better funding. My reading, my analysis is that probably this tug of war over control of FDC when it is about to start a new election could be that one faction which agrees now with joining together with the National Unity Platform. And never mind that Besigye had earlier on dismissed the leadership of National Unity Platform of People Power as inconsequential, not up to the task. You remember, he even advised them, if you believe elections can remove Museveni, I wish you luck. I suspect that the tug of war now is for one group to take control of FDC, particularly the group allied to Besigye. And you could read from body language yesterday at press conference, you can see the group with him. Those are the groups that formed the Subi.
Yeah, but
that's the group that formed the Subi. Let me just conclude. I suspect that the tug of war is for one group to take control of FDC, join with the NUP, so that they do two things. First of all, they can access, if the other issue is correct, better funding, but also they hope they can build a better momentum to give the NRM a run for its money.
Why don't you equally suspect that one group would join you the most time?
I have no evidence, but the group which is with Besigye has a trail.
But
it has tried to take.
You can respond.
Can I ask you, Fono?
Yes, please.
When you say the group with the Besigye, yes, where did the Amuriat come to take over the FDC leadership?
Well, I think there must have been a disagreement along the way between 2020 and 2022, because my brother Nandala and Amuriat were part of Besigye.
Yes.
So there must be something that they have disagreed over.
In principle, or?
Maybe principle, or even not. My suspicion, again, is that maybe Besigye, he has been getting out of the party, not getting out. I suspect that one of them, maybe Besigye has now judged that this group cannot be his heir apparent. He could have developed another heir apparent, and he wants to claim back his thing.
Honorable Nandala.
I suspect this group, and the Honorable Nandala has said, Ssemujju joined along the way. So this group, which has been with Besigye since 2000,
I don't know if the road is.
Yeah, maybe they think this is their thing. You Besigye, you have no right to take our thing and give it to the people. You see, NRM is a different mode. NRM, you come today, you will be the Speaker of Uganda on NRM ticket.
Well, Honorable Nandala Mafabi.
For us, we are different.
Well, thank you very much. Honorable Nandala.
I want to
just a second. The conference at Nsambia, in your submission, was out of order.
Yes.
And it contravened the party rules.
You see,
you had written to stop that conference, and they went ahead with it.
No, I never wrote.
You wrote a letter.
No. I said we were in the election exercise. Please continue with the elections of the structures. And that's why I want you to give me a few minutes to explain a few things.
Okay. But do you intend to take any disciplinary action on Ssemujju and group?
That one is the party issue. But let me tell you something. In our party constitution says, under section 13, under article 13 says, if a member joins another party, you cease to be a member. I want to state that if Nandala went to become NRM, I cease to be a member. There's no way I will remain a Secretary General. You see, during elections like now, they say Nandala is going to become Governor Bank of Uganda, he's going to become Minister of Finance, to divert the public. Now, of course, that shows they are talking because I'm competent. But I am not going to become the governor, I'm not joining NRM. But I also want to make one correction, that you see elections of the FDC are in the party constitution, are directed by National Council. And if you look here, and again Article 15, it says, every village shall have a party branch comprising all members of party resident in that village. 2, The village party branch hereinafter, referred to as the party branch, shall be the nucleus of the party, and every member desirous to becoming a party member shall do so by registering at a party branch. Then it says on 4 that every party branch shall elect once in every 5 years a party branch committee at election authorized by the party national council. You see why I'm bringing this? National council has authorized. Other people don't want to go for an election. I don't know why. But also, what I wanted to know, to make it clear, that the budgets of the party are approved by National Council. The only thing which the people, some of them are behaving, is to become so hostile to the party election commission, which we should also treat it as independent. Some are saying Nandala's, what I'm not.
Wait,
but let me make one case.
Thank you. I'll get back to you.
No,
I'm coming back to you.
But I want
Honorable Ssemujju.
No, sir, 1 minute.
The floor is yours. Yes, I'll certainly come back to you.
So that he answers it once. I want him to confirm that he went to Nairobi to observe elections for 14 days.
I did not go to Nairobi. The Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs,
it is here.
Where you don't sit, went to Nairobi.
For 14 days to observe general elections.
Committee on Legal.
No, it is general elections.
Yes, Committee on Legal.
I want you to confirm that you finished 14 days.
I have said the Committee on Legal. The trouble is that, Nandala, you are too dirty. So you now think you can pluck off your dirt and throw at people. Please die with it.
You are the most dirty man.
You see, the point, we go for issues of elections.
No, but we've really digressed from the money issue and we didn't conclude. At the end of the day, what if the claims that Nandala picked money from State House are not true?
That's why I said right from the beginning, this matter was supposed to be handled internally. And that's why within a week, the Honorable Nandala was in a meeting with Dr. Vesije, with Honorable Ekanya, with Honorable Jack Sabit, with Wafula Ogutu. These people are not dead. And this is not the last time that you are hosting a show here. Call Wafula. Wafula is a very honest person. I worked with him. Call him. Because you see the trouble, what Nandala has wanted all the time is to profile this as if he's in a conflict with Vesije. Then he goes around, uses it as a cover-up. Even these elections themselves, we want elections. I was with you, Nandala, when we were campaigning against Mundu. We lost. And you remember how I struggled to ask you to concede defeat, because that is not in your DNA, grudging.
No, I conceded in my friend.
We lost the election. I lost the election with you. Then the following,
you disappeared. You left me alone in national. I am the one who accepted myself.
The subsequent elections, I was with General Mundu. We lost. My colleagues left. I stayed there because I believed in the FDC. Today, the point is, the last press conference of the Electoral Commission, they were with two of your vigilantes. Centenary.
Vigilantes?
Yes, Centenary and this guy from Nakawa called Okwera.
No.
How can
vigilante? How can they be former member of Parliament?
I use these words
you can say
deliberately. That you are at a press conference as a chairman of the Electoral Commission, flanked by Museveni's campaigners. This is what Nandala has done. Let me tell you, with or without money, I think Nandala is the worst leader I have ever seen. And that's how you are running our headquarters. You have now closed it.
How?
So you're asking how? You don't know that your party chairman has spent the whole day, his vehicle is outside and no journalists are entering. And for a very long time, you remember the last time we had a NEC meeting, and I asked the Amriat, why do you guys bring Kanyama here? Chiefess, we are now at gunpoint. General Mundu told us one time that if you behave like this when you are in a point of vulnerability, the day you get into power, it will be tear gas, it will be bullets. And I see you, Nandala, if you ever get into power, people should go to exile.
No way.
Your behavior.
No,
that you come and you give instruction that your party chairman must not address a press conference, and you think you are acting wiser. All the instruction you give, we get to know. You simply can't run a party like a kiosk. That for you, every decision must originate from you, and what Nandala has said is final. You remember how you are behaving, in the National Executive Committee?
Ssemujju, is FDC going to NRM soon?
I have said,
is it stoppable?
I said it Because when you begin locking out people, the same processes that happened at DP are happening at FDC. The Kanyamachi face beating people. The closure of the gate. Now we need, in FDC I think we are at a level where we'll need permission from Nandala to go to the toilet. That's the system he has put at Najana Nkumbi. And Amuriate, a former member of parliament 3 terms, he works as if he's an officer of Nandala. That's how they are running the party. You see them by the roadside enjoying maize. They are in their own world. They are in their own world. A party like FDC.
Do you want to say that Nandala has captured the party from Amuriat?
The capture for me would be okay, but the party is on its way to Museveni.
How?
Muntu said when you are choosing him, throughout of doing nothing, he said there are things I have done that you cannot touch, that they are not visible. What he meant was democracy. That's what the tradition of the FDC. People are saying, look, listen, Nandala says their election is tomorrow. The supervisors at the district level are there stranded because you are supposed to have parish supervisors who are registering per village. You said they should be disbanded because there is no money. The county and sub-county supervisors are not there. This is going to be the first election in the FDC history to be organized without electoral officials. I don't know whether it is ghosts that are going to register. And I have told you, along with the way Nandala writes a letter, please, as we go through this process, we will be generating registers. I am sending computers. I have it here, your letter.
No, I
if
think
you want it. I am sending computers per region. Then you will have a register that the electoral commission will use. Midway, when the process is underway, is when you are registered. As I said, you see, if you want to cheat elections, you don't even have to read. Museveni is a very good living lesson of how elections are cheated. Registration, display of register, issuance of voter cards, then you proceed to cheat. Simple basic things that we are demanding. And Nandala says you can go to hell. I am sure, without doubt, Nandala already has a list of delegates. You can pretend about it.
Okay.
This exercise
as I get to Nandala, you said the party is going to move. Ssemujju says you're taking the party to Museveni.
I have alluded to you that you have read to you that if a member goes out to another party, he ceases to be a member. What has defeated me? I was a leader of opposition in the parliament. Why didn't I take it? Why is it that I'm waiting for an election to take when I'm here now? It shows that it is impossible. Nobody can take this party anywhere. I can tell you that. But also what I want to make clear here.
As we remind our viewers to keep sending your comments and views and opinions on Afromobile, it will be very interesting to hear what you take of the current debate.
So in 2015, we had the registers. Every village has a register. And the register was just up to update. And you see the problem where these people are coming up. The registers are here. You don't make a register every year. What we're saying that for purposes of now computerizing, we want to collect,
as you and who?
As FDC, to collect information and put it in a database. Because we had that information in the database. When the ant went...
Why do you collect it if you have it?
No, we had, but I'm explaining. When the ant went, we have registers in the villages. Why are you fearing to go to the village?
Why are you sending books to register again?
No, you see what they're saying? They are giving them that we want you to pick information, the districts, to pick information from those villages we have given them form to put for purposes of, we don't want to carry the register from the village, we only want to cut that document at a regional level for data entry only. And I think that's where a problem is coming. But I want to tell you that the registers are there. It's unfortunate. Colleagues don't want to go and participate. But let me tell you, an election, if it has been declared, it has been declared.
Okay.
If you believe that you don't want to participate in the exercise, that I'm taking the party to Museveni, that's a complete lie. If I went, I will go to Nandala. For you said they will be put on a pickup. Is it an Aurora? So you want to put it on what? On a truck, a pickup to Nope, it's up to you. But let me tell you that we don't fight anybody in opposition. Each of us are on the same street. Nope is in one lane, we're in another lane. We're going there. If you feel that Loop is going, let it go there and take its lane, and we're pushing together. But you can't say that all of us come and go in one lane on the same street.
Even without delving so much into elections, at the end of the day, are your differences with Ssemujju reconcilable?
Not with me. That's a mistake. I called a meeting at Zambia where more than 10 MPs with the district chairperson, with the NEC members. Nanda knows the difference is not with me. The reason he wants to character assassinate me.
You are commanding.
Because
you are the commander of the faction.
Because even one of the members said that he sneaked in Najana Kumbi, he waited for me, a whole member of parliament, that I go out of the country, then they come and sign. A whole member. That time was COVID. There were no planes going out. I really looked at the member of parliament mentioning like that. I here laughed.
Do you realize how popular Ssemujju's stand is? Given the numbers that he was able to marshal at in Zambia. 10 MPs, okay.
Out of what?
And today 120 delegates.
No, today he marshaled how many in parliament? There was parliament.
So how many did I tell you that I wanted to marshal?
So how many? So you can see, you see this one, you see, let us be frank. Me, I have no problem by the way with Ssemujju. Ssemujju has his own problem. He has his own problem. You see, calling me, of course, that I'm not intelligent, he knows I'm intelligent. Calling me, I don't understand, I know I understand. Because I know, for me, I'm not I went to school in a different school, I'm not a journalist, I'm an accountant.
What do you think is left of FDC in the midst of this crisis?
Well, I think for a while, FDC has been losing its way. The exodus of my sister, who I think because of good manners, doesn't want to say the extreme what forced them out in that big number. But I think for a while, FDC has been losing its way. I don't see how it's going to recover.
They won't be formidable again.
2 months ago, exactly on 20th of May, I wrote an article and I said, FDC falling. Perhaps it's time to write to prepare for its funeral. If you look at where FDC has come from and the issues it stood for, from Reform Agenda 2001, and its area of strength, TESO, you can count on one hand. West Nile, you can count. Acholi, you can count. As we speak today in Uganda, I think in the last 2 elections, only my brother, Honorable Ssemujju, is an FDC MP.
We are 3 MPs.
3? Then you can see the other 2, I don't even know them. So clearly,
so are you their supervisor? I am their supervisor.
Well, I'm saying I don't think there is a match for FDC in this region. So my suspicion is that with my brother Lukwago, my elder brother Wesige, I strongly believe that they think FDC, whatever the remnant, if you give it the leadership, you Ugandanize it. You Bugandanize it, its leadership.
Basically wants to Bugandanize?
Yes. Because you see, there's greed, but there's also envy. If you don't want me to succeed where you did not, you can say, let us tafadhali tuvunji. Let us break the pot. If I can take something for myself. I see my reading, even if I was to meet Besigye today, I see his appetite, his greed. He's not going to let go.
Why do you drag Besigye into this?
I'm not the one dragging him. Am I the one who convened for him the press conference of yesterday? I'm not.
I thought he was sharing his opinion
am I the one
and calling for tempers to calm down.
Am I the one who told him to leave FDC leadership and go and start another rider in Katonga? It is not me. I see it as greed. You have seen in the NRM the people who have fallen out for some reason. I have not seen anybody forming a rival faction of NRM and saying, I can't go to Plot 10, but I will be in the Banda. I have not seen. So I partly blame some of the fracas on him. So I don't see FDC waking up again to where it was 10 years ago.
Thank you.
The issues that I have said on this show, the issues that made the FDC tick was insecurity in the eastern and northern belt, issues of infrastructure. Each time those things are fixed, FDC loses those grounds. And I don't see, FDC can only merge out of the extreme stupidity of the NRM. And that extreme stupidity of the NRM is bloody unlikely to occur very soon. Even when we make certain mistake, it won't be.
As we take our viewers to NBS live on AfroMobile, Honorable Nandala, are the grassroots elections on or off?
They are on. And I want
but the chairman halted them.
No, the chairman has no. You see, the constitution is here. The person who can stop the elections is the national. There is no power of a chairman to halt an election. It's the party electoral commission.
Are you in the elections or not?
So, but what I want to make
no.
The National Executive Committee suspended them for 1 month. Why didn't the electoral commission insist that they will take on the 1 month they were under suspension? But when we are extending the term in October 2020 for another 3 years, why wasn't the electoral commission there independent? You are behaving like M7. People are saying there are these issues. No, electoral commission is independent. Are you the spokesperson of the independent electoral commission?
Yes.
Under what provision?
I am saying I'm the head of the secretariat, and I'm telling you that the law is here. The law says I'm in charge of. I am responsible for compliance with all legal obligations of the party. The Constitution is very clear. The command of the Constitution says the branch elections will be a command of the National Council. The National Council commanded.
You see, there is going to be no elections. There is going to be no elections. Nandala has a list of timelines.
Nothing.
Tomorrow he will tick. Village elections are done. I can tell you, I am a Muslim. Nandala already has a list of delegates.
No way.
That's why he has been in the East.
You think you're the only Muslim? I might be even a better Muslim than you.
You were in Usoga.
I might be a better Muslim than you.
You were in Teso. You were in Gulu, meeting delegates. MPs are complaining. Some of them may not pick the courage to tell you. They ask, why don't they involve us?
Which MP?
You see, you have terrorized people, Nandala.
You are the one who terrorized members of parliament.
You have terrorized the people.
You have terrorized members of parliament.
They can keep quiet and you take their silence for approval.
No. For you are the one who terrorized members of parliament. You are the one who speaks. You are the one who travels. You are the one who...
Even speaking, by the way, I am happy you have spoken about...
No, that you are the one who speaks. That when they
the last time we had a meeting of MPs with Amriyat, I left.
Not me.
And Amriyat told the MPs that Ssemujju is overshining, causing you trouble. Why would you even have a problem if you have
Honorable Ssemujju, as I get to Honorable Winnie and 12 viewers by the way, we are shortly
you are too petty.
No, you are the one who is petty.
Honorable Ssemujju.
Yes.
He talks from 7.
As I get to Honorable Winnie Kiza, are you still the spokesperson of FDC?
I was elected by the FDC Delegates Conference. The FDC provides on how I can be removed. I have been decent, stayed away from press conferences because I am no longer in a position to call my party president to consult before the press conference. I didn't want to be a nuisance. I have stayed away for a while now, but also because of other things.
So you're a spokesperson who cannot go to Najana?
I have a deputy. If the party chairman cannot go, who am I? You want Nanda to beat me? This one who is beating people.
I think those are
except if I am going to go with the Kanyama.
No,
he has deployed the Kanyama, he pays them.
Let me tell you. By let me
Honorable.
Today they have beaten the journalist.
No.
Well, we're taking our viewers onto AfroMobile now, and we really want to thank you very much for your subscription. Just go straight to NBS Live. Honorable Winnie.
NBS Frontline.